progress.
Recording in progress. Right, so let's go. Just to start off, so hi, today we will be taking a look at imposter syndrome. Just to introduce myself again, my name is Michelle Jenmy, and I am a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a director of a company, I'm an entrepreneur, I am a speaker, I'm a blogger, and I'm ready to jump in and tackle this imposter syndrome once and for all. So first question, what is imposter syndrome? We've all heard about imposter syndrome, but do you actually know what it is? So imposter syndrome refers to a psychological pattern. Okay, individuals, they will often doubt their accomplishments. They have a persistent fear. We spoke about fear previously. We know what fear is. They have a persistent fear of being exposed as a fraud, even though there's evidence, sorry, of their competence, there's evidence of success, there's evidence of skills. If you just look at the lady here in this picture, you know, look at all of her certifications behind her, but she's got this look on her face where she's not happy. She's not happy at all. Okay, so she's got all of the evidence there, but people experiencing imposter syndrome, they often put their achievements down to luck. Like, yeah, I've got it, but I was just lucky. Or they put it down to things like external factors rather than acknowledging their own abilities and their own strengths. So external factors could be things like, oh, I only got this position because I'm a woman, and they want to even the cards out. They don't want to make it look like it's just men getting everything. So they will often put in their heads that that's the only reason why they've got a certain position or why they've reached a certain level. Does anyone resonate with that? Drop a one in the chat if you've had those feelings before. Let's see those ones coming in. So has anyone ever had, so Lara has had some, Joan has had some, Kamara, Jordi. So you see, it's not uncommon. We often have the Afrolicious mummy as well. We often have these feelings of imposter syndrome. And the thing is, women tend to experience it more than men. There's something within us, some psychological thing within us that make us believe for some reason that we are not worthy. Okay, but better now. But what are the key? How can you be certain that you are struggling with imposter syndrome? What are the key characteristics of imposter syndrome? So we have persistent self-doubt. That's one of the first ones. You've got persistent self-doubt. So individuals will question their abilities, like I said before, they'll question their accomplishment, and they believe that they are not as competent as others perceive them to be. Okay? Then they also have, again, this word, fear. They have a fear of being exposed. There's a deep-seated fear of being found out. Oh my gosh, suppose they realize that I'm not as smart as they think I am. Suppose they realize that I don't know everything about everything, which, let's be realistic, it's not realistic to know everything about everything. But what it does is it leads to anxiety and it leads to stress. I just spoke about the external factors, despite the evidence, and your hard work, and individuals with imposter syndrome just attribute it to luck, or other people just being nice and acknowledging their skills or just helping them along, but they don't often think that they deserve it. Another thing that they do is they minimize their achievements, even when they accomplish big things, exciting things, degrees, diplomas, promotions. They're experiencing these things, they minimize it. It's like, whatever, it's not really a big deal, is it? It's not a big deal. This is another one, perfectionism. When you're suffering with imposter syndrome, sometimes you overwork or you strive for perfection, and it's an attempt to compensate because you think that you are inadequate, so you go over and above to prove that you're not inadequate. And the last one that I have here is rejecting praise. Now, I'm very guilty of this one, rejecting praise. I don't like compliments. but at the same time, I like them. It's very, very confusing. But when you suffer with imposter syndrome, compliments or positive feedback, you just brush them off. You don't really accept them. You're kind of embarrassed when you get them. You don't want to take them in. So that is anyone suffering? Has anyone seen themselves in any of these characteristics? Has anyone seen themselves in any of these characteristics? I've seen myself in some of them. So yes, Jordan has. Chantel is saying yes, she has. Mary Lee as well is saying she has. Gladys, Isaiah, um, Laura, Afrolicious Mama. So we're all experiencing, maybe not all of them, but at some point or the other, we experience some of these characteristics. So the question is, how do we overcome these characteristics, these feelings that we're having? So here's this lady. She's obviously overcome. She's looking very confident there. She's smiling in front of her awards and her trophies. So the first thing you need to do is acknowledge your achievements. Make a list of your accomplishments, make a list of your skills. And it's also a good way to get to know yourself better. And take the time to recognize the successes and the hard work that you've put in to achieve them. And they don't have to be just big things, they can be little things. You've accomplished everything on your to-do list today. Acknowledge it, celebrate it, be happy about it. The next thing you should be doing is challenging negative thoughts. When you notice self-doubt or negative talk coming into your brain, coming in through into your mind or through your ear gates, as Nikki likes to say, challenge those thoughts with evidence of your competence. So when you're thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I know I have all this experience in, say, marketing, but you've been given a new marketing challenge and you're sitting there thinking, no, I can't do it, I can't do it. Remind yourself, this is what you were trained to do. I can do it. Yeah. Set realistic goals. Break your goals down into manageable tasks and set realistic expectations to achieve them. So focus on your progress rather than perfection. Okay. Another thing that you can do is celebrate progress. You may not have got to where you want to be, but you're one step closer today than you were yesterday. And acknowledge that. Celebrate it because you've done more than some other people. So be happy about it. Okay. Reward yourself for reaching milestones, for example, and achieving your small goals on your way to your big goals. Self-compassion. How many of you are harder on yourself than you are and everybody else in your community? Like, you know, I will give everybody else a pass, but for me, I will get down on myself for not accomplishing what I want to accomplish. Who else resonates with that? Who else feels that? That they treat other people better than they treat themselves. So, be kind to yourself. Treat yourself with the same empathy. Yes, Chantal says yes. Treat yourself with the same empathy and understanding that you would offer to a friend who is going through the same challenges, or if a friend had just done something big, you'd celebrate them. Celebrate yourself in the same way. Have some self-compassion. I've got some others as well. There's so many good ways on how to overcome imposter syndrome. Seek support. So if you get, exactly, Danielle, give yourself grace. Seek support, share your feelings with imposter syndrome. Just on this call alone, there's 18 of us, and pretty much everyone has said that they've suffered with some aspects of imposter syndrome at some point of time. So you're not alone. So talk about your feelings. Talk about it within your communities, within your trusted friends, your family members. If you have a mentor, just talk about what you're feeling. You can focus on your learning and your growth. So embrace a growth mindset, yeah, by like viewing challenges as opportunities. That will help. And don't fear failure. A lot of people fear failure and just see it as a natural part of a learning progress. Yeah. So, and also, speak to the people that are where you want to be. Jim Rohn says the 5 people you hang around your average of the 5 people that you hang around. So if you hang around with 5 silly people, you're going to be the 6th silly person, right? You get what I'm saying with that. You understand where I'm going with that. So therefore, hang around, be with people that you want to be like, okay? But at the same time, while you're being with these people, limit comparisons. Everyone is on their own journey. Don't compare your day one to someone's year 10. That's really, really important. You can learn from someone who's at their year 10, but don't compare yourself because it will just give you feelings of desperation. It will give you feelings as if you're not good enough. So avoid comparing yourself with others, especially today where we spend so much time on social media. Practice self-care. Prioritize your self-care activities. That will help you to reduce stress. That will help boost your mood. Personally, I do things like exercise. Okay. I go for a walk every morning, a half an hour walk every morning, and that just boosts my mood. I feel really good. I get a bit of a sweat on, so that just helps me personally. What are some of the things that everyone here does to boost their mood and to practice self-care? Does anyone practice self-care? I hope you practice self-care. What do you do? Does anyone have any examples? I also like to do facials. Afrolicious Mama says singing bowls. Now I've heard of your singing bowls, and I'm really excited to learn more about these singing bowls. Afrolicious Mama. I love that name as well. Massage, that's a good one as well. Facials, hairdressing, journal, singing, exercise daily, reading, self-care. Oh, they're all pouring in now. Affirmations, meditation, self-care morning power hour. Danielle, I love that. Claire, exercises as well. So yeah, there's loads of things that you can do in order to practice self-care. And the last one I'm going to add here is if you need it, if you need it, get, get help. Because imposter syndrome, when you sit in imposter syndrome, when you stay in imposter syndrome, it can impact your self-esteem. It can impact you wanting to do things, spend time with family. So if you're finding that you are suffering with imposter syndrome and you can't get yourself out of rut, consider speaking to someone, maybe a pastor, maybe a therapist, maybe a counselor, so consider getting help. And I love to leave you with a little quote. So believe in yourself. This is the quote I'm going to leave with you today. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside each and every one of you that is greater than any obstacle. You are capable, you are deserving, and you are enough. Remember that overcoming imposter syndrome is a gradual process, and it's okay to speak to your friends and your family and to seek professional help if you need to, but be patient. That's the most important thing. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and work towards building confidence and self-assurance. So thank you so much for being here today. I know that you've picked up some really good nuggets there. If you want to if you want to get a hold of me, I can be found on Instagram. Michelle Jenny is my name. Just search me up. Um, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to talk about next Friday, but I'm really excited to see you guys next Friday. So just make sure that you're following me on Instagram so that you can get a heads up of what we're going to be talking about. So I'm just going to stop the share now so I can see all of your beautiful faces. There you all are. And